Right, Jide Olubode joins me live now from Lagos here to do a review of the game tonight and, of course, a preview of some of the games coming up Saturday and Sunday. Well, Jide, let's begin with the game, Chelsea versus Luton. It does appear that things are starting to fall in place now for Mauricio Pochettino.
Yeah, good evening. I'm happy for Chelsea. He appears so, even though it's Luton Town. But you've got to play whatever is in front of you. They had Luton, they had to win the game, and they won emphatically. You know, Sterling is back to form. He's played well last game as well, so he showed up again. And Jackson, the new guy from Villarreal, he's done well, getting his goal as well. So I think Poch will be happy, especially with the way the team played today as well.
All right, well, Arsenal versus Fulham, that's a London derby. Arsenal, of course, will be looking to continue with their impressive form since the start of the season, wouldn't they?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, when you look at how they finished last season, I mean, they lost the league title to a great team, a Manchester City team that went on to win in Europe as well. So I'm not discounting them. 2 games, I mean, Crystal Palace Selhurst Pass is a tough place to go, and they won there convincingly as well. So, I mean, I think Arteta and his boys will be proud of what they're doing. And even though it's a London derby, you know what? I'm not a betting person, like I always say. So, but I'll give this one to Arsenal as well.
All right. On Sunday, you would have Newcastle United versus Liverpool. Newcastle, no doubt, will be, of course, itching to bounce back from that, 1-0 defeat to Manchester City against Liverpool, wouldn't they?
Absolutely, they will be. And you know what? I think Tyneside is one of the toughest places to play because you get the crowds, joining, being the 12th man, for the team. So, and when you look at Liverpool, they're still trying to get, the balance right with the exit of Fabinho and the rest. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough one for Liverpool. If they survive the first 20 minutes, who knows if they can silence the crowd. But if the Tyne crowd get going, you know what? It could be a tough day, at the workshop for Klopp and his boys.
All right, let's turn our attention now to La Liga. Of course, on Sunday, still in the EPL, you would have Sheffield United versus Manchester City. But in the La Liga, you would have Sevilla versus Girona, Granada versus Mallorca. And these are Girona versus Mallorca. That's a game that the two sides will be looking to get a win.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's important. I think with La Liga, it's almost said that you get Real Madrid, Barcelona, probably Atletico fighting for the title at the end. But the other teams, what is important is to start getting the points now, getting it under their belts. And, what better way to do that beginning of the season now? Because, 5 games down the road, they wield the axe very quickly in Spain. The manager doesn't get the results, is out of the door. So, I'm watching this one closely, Ike.
All right. Well, let's also talk about some games in Serie A now. There would be Verona versus Roma, Milan versus Torino, of course, in the Serie A.
Yes, Roma's drop points, first game, Salatina, I watched it. They played well, but they got Renato Sanchez in, very good player, but still the balance, I don't see right. Inter have continued where they started. Osimhen and Napoli doing the same as well, where they finished last season, I beg your pardon. And Juventus are also doing well. So, I mean, it's going to be tough. I think about 3-4 teams that will challenge Napoli for the title this season. But again, it's early days. So, hopefully we get a cracker, Juventus, Bologna, and we'll see Napoli Sassuolo giving us a few goals from Osimhen, hopefully.
Yeah. All right, then. What you do, Olubode, always interested in having you talk sports with us. Many thanks again for talking to us tonight.
You're welcome. It's always a pleasure.